Hey, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Camelback Ranch in Glendale. Todd Garbison for Southwest Sports Network. It's play-by-play coverage of Saguaro SaberCats varsity baseball. It's the 4A1 state semifinals as Saguaro hosts the Catalina Foothills Falcons. And we are set to get underway here. Saguaro, the number 2 seed. Catalina Foothills, the number 11 seed. And the first pitch to their leadoff hitter, Manny Lopez, is high for ball 1. Catalina Foothills comes in with a record of 20 wins and 11 losses. They went 7-3 through the 4A Sonoran region. As the pitch is over the outside corner, a strike, it's 1-1. And for the SaberCats, 32-4 on the year for Saguaro. 13-1 is the record they put up in region play. The 1-1 pitch is outside and low, 2 balls and a strike. Michael Benson starts today for the SaberCats, facing Manny Lopez in the leadoff spot for the Falcons. And his 2-1 pitch is fouled out of play on the first base side, and the count is 2-2. Lopez, the leadoff hitter, starts at third base today for the Falcons. Ben Nakazato, the second baseman, bats second. Alec Beiersdorf is the catcher. He bats third. Reed Hunter, the pitcher, is fourth. As the 2-2 to Benson is on the way, and it's outside, and it's 3-2. A.J. Muscarello bats fifth at shortstop. Reed Gerhauser is in center field. He bats sixth. Sebastian Zawada in left field is seventh. The number 8 hitter is the first baseman, Preston Jamison, and Tyler Alov, the right fielder, bats ninth. The 3-2 pitch from Benson, and that's outside and low, and it's a leadoff walk to Manny Lopez. And this is a matchup of last year's 4A1 state championship game. The SaberCats scored a big number late to run rule Catalina Foothills, and that one, I think that one went 6 innings last year in the 4A1 state championship here at Camelback Ranch. Now Ben Nakazato at the plate, a left-handed hitter, and he takes the first pitch from Benson over for a strike. Leadoff hitter at first base and nobody out top of the first inning for the Falcons. Catalina Foothills already 2 upsets in the playoffs as the throw goes to first base and the runner back. The Falcons beat number 6 Apollo in the opening round on Saturday and then beat number 3 Prescott here at Camelback Ranch on Wednesday. And that ball hit out to center field, but that'll hang up, and the catch is made in center for the first out. And with 1 on and 1 out, it'll bring up the catcher, Alec Beiersdorf. Other than the pitcher, Michael Benson, no change in the Saguaro defense. Austin Anderson starts in left field. Zach Gibbons is in center field, and Kyle Young is the right fielder. John Nimps is at third base. Matt Morris is the shortstop. We'll get you the rest here, and the first one to Beiersdorf is outside for ball 1. Second baseman is Ben Tingley. Chris Ackman is at first for the SaberCats, and Brandon Demarest catching for Michael Benson. A throw to first base, and that's blocked by Ackman over there as Lopez dives back to the bag. 1 on and 1 out. Top of the first inning. 4A1 state semifinals. The 1-0 pitch. And a ground ball to short. Morris has it. He'll go to Tingley for the first out. On to Ackman at first. A double play. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, a leadoff walk. The runner erased on the double play, and after a half inning of play, it's Catalina Foothills nothing, and Saguaro coming up to face Reed Hunter. Saguaro set to go to work here in the bottom of the first inning as Austin Anderson takes low for ball 1. Anderson leads off for Saguaro. Zach Gibbons bats second. Chris Ackman is third. As the 1-0 pitch from Reed Hunter is outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Brandon Demarest is the number 4 hitter for Saguaro. Kyle Young bats fifth, and Matt Morris is sixth. The 2-0 pitch. That's on the outside corner, a strike. It's 2-1. Reed Austin is the DH. He bats seventh. John Nimps is eighth, and Ben Tingley bats ninth. The 2-1 pitch. A fastball, that's high, maybe outside. It's 3 balls and a strike. Anderson trying to get aboard here to begin the SaberCat first inning, the 3-1 pitch. And he goes after it, hits a fly ball pretty well out to left field. Still going back. This is going to get over the left fielder's head, and it bounces up against the fence. Anderson's going to make the big turnaround. Boy, the left fielder having all sorts of trouble with the ball in the outfield, and it's a leadoff triple for Austin Anderson. The left fielder for Catalina Foothills, Sebastian Zawada, and they're actually going to charge a hit and an error, so I guess that'll be then a double and then an E7. And now Zach Gibbons with a runner at third and nobody out, and the first pitch is low for ball one. Boy, Saguaro would like nothing better than to jump on Catalina Foothills here early. The 1-0. And a fastball over the outside corner, a strike. It's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. That's bounced in and blocked by the catcher, Beiersdorf. It's 2-1, so it's Reed Hunter, the pitcher, Alec Beiersdorf, the catcher. Preston Jameson's at first, Ben Nakazato at second. The 2-1 to Gibbons. That's over for a strike, and it's 2-2. The third baseman is Manny Lopez for the Falcons, and the shortstop, A.J. Muscarello, and then it's Zawada, Gerhauser, and Olive in the outfield. The 2-2 to Zach Gibbons. And he'll hit a ground ball out to short. That'll get the run in. It's picked up by the shortstop, Muscarello, and on to first base. An RBI ground out. And the SaberCats are on the board in the bottom of the first inning. They lead Catalina Foothills 1-0. Now here's Chris Ackman, the first baseman, as he bats with the bases empty. And one away, but a run in for the SaberCats. And a breaking ball near the outside corner, a strike. The 0-1 in on the hands, fouled off, wide of the bag at third, and the count is 0-2. Hunter into the one, and the 2-strike pitch. Bounced it in there for a ball, and it's 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes on Chris Ackman. And Reed Hunter, the senior right-hander, back to it, and he misses low with the next pitch, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brandon Demarest next for Saguaro. The 2-2. And that ball hit down the right field line, but that's going to slice foul, and it's out of play into the seats. And then it actually bounces back onto the field, so we'll have a little bit of a break here as the right fielder, Olive, has to bring it in for Catalina Foothills. And good to see the plate umpire is going to go out there and just check that baseball. I mean, anytime it goes out of play off something metal like that, as a hitter, I'm sure Chris Ackman would have asked him to check it even if the umpire hadn't started out there, but he already was there, and he'll say the ball is okay for play. Another 2-2 pitch. And Ackman with a line shot out to center field, down for a base hit. And it's the second hit of the inning for the SaberCats. Chris aboard at first base for Brandon Demarest. And the SaberCat offense has been so good all season. And I think one of the things kind of special about this SaberCat team is once a rally kind of quiets down, the next guy can get up and get a base hit and get it started again as Demarest takes a strike. And by that I mean Anderson with the double and an error got him to third base. Gibbons grounds out but gets the run in. That's good for Saguaro to get him a run. But then you see a lot of teams in that situation where the inning just kind of fizzles from there as Demarest swings and misses. And Saguaro may not score again, but instead, with a run already in and an out for Saguaro, Ackman got a base hit to try to get things going again. 0-2 on Demarest. Kyle Young next for Saguaro. The fastball is high. Trying to get Demarest to chase up out of the strike zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 1-0 Saguaro in the bottom of the first inning, the 4A1 state semifinals. And the 1-2, Demarest lifts that one out to right field. Alev's not going to get to it. It hits off the fence. Ackman is going to be held at third base. No, he's going to run through the stop sign. Here comes the throw to the plate. And boy, the first base umpire called him safe, I believe. The plate umpire started to bang him out, but the first base umpire came down the line and called him safe, I believe. And now the head coach, Lance Robertson, out of the dugout for Catalina Foothills. The umpires are going to come together and talk about it. Brandon Demarest gets to second base. And Teddy Rubin will run for him as the courtesy runner out there. It looked to me like Ackman was out, and that's from, up in the press box way behind home plate. He ran through the stop sign as Saguaro head coach Ryan Dyer in the third base box put the hands up, and now after the conference, the first base umpire will put up the right hand and say that Ackman is out at the plate. And now Coach Dyer will get an explanation from the plate umpire. A very brief conversation, and so it is a double for Demarest. And then Ackman is thrown out at the plate. And so that's the second out in the inning, and Teddy Rubin running for Brandon Demarest at second as the courtesy runner, and the batter is Kyle Young. And now time called, and Coach Dyer's back in to talk to the plate umpire. The crowd goes quiet here. Just had one more quick question, I guess, and got the explanation. And now he heads back to the third base coach's box. When we talk about this, sometimes when we get to the stadiums and you get to this point of the ball game or the point of the season, the AIA assigns 3 umpires. But throughout the entire regular season, it's only 2. And we'll talk about that in the next inning as Kyle Young grounds out to knock us out of the second baseman to end the Saguaro first inning. SaberCats get 1 run on 2, make it 3 hits. There was 1 error and 1 left. After 1, it's Saguaro 1 and Catalina Foothills nothing. Reed Hunter, the leadoff hitter for the Falcons in the second inning. Michael Benson pitching with a 1-run lead. The first pitch is low for ball 1. And I started to talk about then at the bottom of the first inning, the AIA assigns 3 umpires as Hunter hits a fly ball to right field. Kyle Young is there, and there's 1 out in the second. But then 3 umpires now. And you can tell in that situation that those umpires, there may have been communication, but I don't think you ever want to get to a situation as umpires where 2 umpires are making a simultaneous call on the same play. And that's what happened there. A.J. Muscarello takes high for a ball. And I'm not talking about whether the guy was out or safe. It's not whether Chris was out or safe at the plate. It's just the idea that it causes the confusion as that pitch is fouled off at the plate and it's 1-1. Just it causes confusion. And I think coaches and players probably prefer to have the extra umpire out there, to have the extra eyes. But some of these guys that just do the high school baseball or youth baseball, summer leagues, things like that, as Muscarello has the count of 2 balls and a strike, don't have the opportunity to work in a 3-man or even a 4-man crew very often. They're usually well schooled in 2-man crew coverage as Muscarello takes a strike and it's 2-2. Now Benson ready, the 2-2 pitch. And a swing, the ball down in the dirt. Demarest has it, and he'll throw it to first base. It's in time. And there's 2 away. Now Gerhauser. And he takes outside for a ball. I'm looking again, and I might have written it down wrong. The roster that we have for Catalina Foothills, it says Robbie Gerhauser. I thought that I saw on the actual lineup card filled out by Catalina Foothills and given to Saguaro, I thought they wrote down the first name of Reed. And so I assumed that maybe he goes by Reed. I don't know if that's true or not, but he's announced as Robbie as that ball is hit on the ground past Nims, who dives but can't make the play. A hard hit and a single for Gerhauser, and he's aboard at first base for Sebastian Zawada. Easy throw to first and the runner back. And the first one to Zawada over for a strike. Another throw over to first, and again the runner is back standing. That pitch just off the outside corner, and the count 1-1 on Zawada. 2 outs and a runner at first in the top of the second inning. 1-0 Saguaro. Runner goes, and the 1-1 pitch fouled out of play on the first base side, and the count's 1-2. Benson ready again. The 1-2 is outside with a fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now the 2-2 and a tapper up the middle. Tingley over to his right, and he'll tap the bag just ahead of the sliding Gerhauser, and the side is retired. No runs, a hit, and 1 left after an inning and a half. The Falcons trail the SaberCats 1-0. Matt Morris leads off for Saguaro in the second and takes the first pitch over for a strike. The winner of this game will move on to the 4A1 state championship game tomorrow at 3 o'clock. As the next one is low, and it's 1-1. And the winner of this game will face the winner of number 1 Sunrise Mountain and number 4 Sabino. That game will be played right here at Camelback Ranch tonight at 7 o'clock. The 1-1 pitch fouled out of play on the first base side, and the count's 1-2. The line to the 1-2. And it's inside and off the glove of Beiersdorf. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Matt Morris followed in the lineup by Reed Austin and John Nemtz here in the second inning. The 2-2. The fastball is high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. SaberCats with 3 base hits in the first inning, including 2 doubles, but only 1 run to show for it. The 3-2. And that's low for ball 4. Good at bat for Morris. A leadoff walk in the second. And the batter is Reed Austin. Austin in there and ready to go. The first pitch is swung on and missed. 1-0 Saguaro, bottom of the second inning. Turn, easy throw over to first as Morris dives back. The 0-1, that's outside, and the catcher Beiersdorf came out of the crouch in a hurry, thinking about throwing down to first base, but he did not let it go. 1-1 on Reed Austin. And a breaky ball from Hunter is high. 2 balls and a strike. Reed Hunter, 2-3 record on the year, a 4.57 earned run average. 30 hits allowed in 23 innings. 17 walks, 25 strikeouts. And Austin drives that ball out to left center field. Zawada looking up, and it's gone! A 2-run home run for Reed Austin, and the SaberCats lead 3-0. How about the season that Reed Austin has had for the SaberCats? And you can say that about a lot of guys up and down this lineup for Saguaro. But for a lot of the year, Reed Austin batting over 500 out of the number 7 spot. He had a 2-run home run on Saturday. As the first one to John Nips is a strike. And now a 2-run home run here in the state semifinals, the 0-1. And Nips fouls it out of play on the right side. Nothing and 2 on John Nips. Base is empty, but nobody out. 2 runs in the inning. It's 3-0 Saguaro as the next one is outside, and it's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. And that's a ground ball. Base hit into left field. Nips with a solid single, and that's going to get the bullpen going for Catalina Foothills. Nips aboard at first base for Ben Tingley. Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw to second base. And out at second as Beiersdorf guns down Nips. Tingley did what he could do as he swung and tried to slow down the catcher. And now the 0-1. It's outside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. I believe it's Ryan Gray, a junior right-hander, getting loose, junior left-hander rather, getting loose in the bullpen for the Falcons as the next pitch is outside. And it's 2-1. Next pitch low, 3 balls and a strike. Well, SaberCats going well offensively. As the 3-1 is hit on the ground into the hole, it's short, picked up on the grass. The throw to first base, that's not in time. And Tingley is going to be awarded second base as the throw from the shortstop Muscarello goes into the seats. That should be a hit, and it is an infield hit for Ben Tingley. And then an E6, the second error of the ball game for the shortstop, or second error of the ball game for the Falcons. This one on the shortstop Muscarello. Now Austin Anderson with a runner at second and 1 out. 2 runs in for the SaberCats in the second inning. They lead 3-0. And the First one to Anderson over for a strike. The 0-1 is fouled out of play. And the count is 0-2. The 2-strike pitch fouled out of play on the left side. Tingley with the lead off second base. Hunter looking in, and now time called. I mentioned Hunter 2-3 on the year, 4.57 ERA, 30 hits in 23 innings, 17 walks, 25 strikeouts. Not great numbers, but you figure he's probably their number 3 guy, as the first pitch, or the next one rather, is high, and it's 1-2. We didn't see any sort of game reports, but from our understanding, Preston Jamison, the number 1 guy, as that ball is grounded foul on the first base side, still 1-2. And then just looking at the stats, Jamison 6-3, an ERA just over 2. And then it looks like Trevor Griffin is probably the number 2 guy, and I don't know if Griffin is the one that threw on Wednesday, but he's 7-1 with a 2.97 ERA. Another 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball high, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. I read a quote, I'm sure many of you saw it, and the article that was written after the game on Wednesday, Coach Dyer, I think, was quoted as saying that he expected to see Jamison today. As the pitch misses, and it's 3-2. But in talking with some media before the ball game, the talk instead was that it would be, typically it's the number 3 guy going in this situation. As Anderson lays off, there's no way he went around. He did not, and that's ball 4. So good at bat for Austin Anderson, and now he's at first with Tingley at second for Zach Gibbons. Gibbons an RBI ground out his last time up. Anderson, by the way, the double and a run scored his first time. The pitch to Gibbons, a ball. 3-0 Saguaro, bottom of the second inning, and they're looking to add more with 2 on and only 1 out. Here's the set on the 1-0. It's outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Gray, the left-hander, is ready in the Catalina Foothills bullpen. Now the 2-0 pitch. And Gibbons right on it, fouls it straight back to the netting behind home plate, and the count's 2-1. The 2-1. And that ball hit well out to right field. Alev going back and just reaches up to make the catch. Tingley tags and goes to third. Anderson stays put at first base. A fly out to right field is the second out of the inning, and the batter is Chris Ackman. Saguaro knocking around Reed Hunter here to the tune of 6 base hits. And 3 runs is definitely a respectable number, but the SaberCats had a runner thrown out at the plate in the first inning, and they've had a runner caught stealing here in the second. Fake to third, no throw over there. The third baseman, Lopez, is not even close to the bag over there. 2-0 now on Chris Ackman. Chris had a base hit his first time up. Saguaro are running 3 hits in the first. They've got 2 runs and 3 hits here in the second. And Ackman going after a 2-0 fastball, fouls it out of play on the first base side, and the count's 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Outside, 3 balls and a strike. The set and the 3-1. Anderson takes off. It's ball 4. The throw down doesn't matter there. Again, it's ball 4, so that will load the bases. Now Brandon Demarest, who doubled his first time up. Outfielders all backpedaling here as they will try to get deep and prevent a ball from getting over their heads here. Tingley at third, Anderson at second, Chris Ackman at first. And Demarest with a line shot to right field and hit it right on the button. But Alev over to make the catch and decide retired. SaberCats managed 2 runs, but I think they were hoping for a bigger inning in the second. It's 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave the bases loaded. And after 2, it's Saguaro 3 and Catalina Foothills nothing. Preston Jamison begins the Falcons' 3rd inning, 8-9-1 in the order. And the first one from Benson outside for ball 1. Benson ready with the 1-0 pitch. And that's a fly ball into left field. Anderson fighting the sun. Makes the catch. And the leadoff hitter retired in the Falcons' 3rd inning. Now the right fielder, Tyler Alev. Ground ball out to Ben Tingley at second. On to Ackman at first base. And there's 2 away. Back to the top of the order for Manny Lopez, who walked to start the ball game. Lopez came in batting .435 with 7 doubles and 7 RBI. A sophomore, and he takes the first pitch at the knees for strike 1. And there's a ground ball up the middle. Tingley's got it and knew he had to get rid of it in a hurry. I think that should be an infield base hit. We'll see what they put up. Sure enough, it is an infield single for Lopez. He didn't hit it very hard. Tingley had to come charging in. And he knew he was going to have to grab it and throw it to first in a hurry. And he couldn't pick it up clean. So an infield single, and it's a 2-out base runner. Now Penn Nakazato, the senior, batting .414, fouls the first one off at the plate. 10 doubles, 2 triples, 5 home runs, 26 knocked in for Nakazato. I think these stats that we got from Max Preps for Catalina Foothills, I believe they're about at least 1 and maybe 2 games behind, if I remember correctly. The next pitch is low, and it's 1-1. Benson looking in, and the right-hander sets the 1-1 pitch. And it's a fly ball. It's hit pretty well out to center field. Gibbons drifting back and over to his right, but tracking it all the way, and he makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, a 2-out single, and a runner left after 2.5. Catalina Foothills trails Saguaro by a score of 3-0. 5, 6, and 7 in the order for Saguaro in the third. Kyle Young trying to bunt his way on. And that's bunted foul on the third base line. Young, Morris, and Austin for the SaberCats. And a change for Catalina Foothills as Andrew Flores has taken over at first base, and that means Jamison is getting loose in the Catalina Foothills bullpen. The 1-1. Foul back, out of play, and it's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes, so Reed Hunter is still in there. And we'll see how long he stays in there, as the next one is high, and it's 3-2. The 3-2 pitch. And Young makes that one foul on the right side. 3-0 SaberCats. Got an RBI ground out from Zach Gibbons in the first after a double and an error moved Austin Anderson to third base. And in the second inning, Matt Morris walked to lead off the second. Reed Austin followed with a 2-run home run. The 3-2 pitch. And that's outside for ball 4. Falcons fans not happy there. They thought that pitch was on the corner. Now Matt Morris at the plate with Kyle Young at first base. And a timeout called from the Catalina Foothills dugout. We play in the bottom of the third. It's 3-0 Saguaro. Catalina Foothills makes a pitching change as Preston Jamison is on. And he throws the first one of Matt Morris over for strike 1. The 0-1. Fastball, that's outside, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Jamison 6-3 on the season, a 2.05 ERA, 44 1/3 innings pitched, 46 hits allowed, 26 walks, 65 strikeouts. A step and a throw as Anderson takes off for second, and he's safe as he steals the bag. So Young took off, Jamison threw to first base, and then Lopez with a throw as he has moved from third to first. Reed Hunter stays in the ball game at third base. And a high pop-up on the first base side. Lopez and Nakazato going back. It's the second baseman, Nakazato, with the catch. And that's the first out of the SaberCat third inning. And the batter is Reed Austin. Austin with a 2-run home run the last time up. Takes a strike at the knees. Work back to second from Jamison, and the 0-1 pitch. And that's fouled out of play on the right side, and it's 0-2. Jamison ahead of Austin. The 0-2 pitch. And a fly ball out to right field. Alev with the catch. Anderson tags and goes to third base. And there are 2 outs for John Nips. And Nips with a shot out to right field. And Alev is there to make the catch. And the side retired. SaberKits get a leadoff walk. And the runner is left at third base after 3. Saguaro leads Catalina Foothills by a score of 3-0. 3, 4, and 5 of the order for Catalina Foothills in the 4th inning. Alec Beiersdorf leads off. He grounded out to second base to end the 1st inning. In fact, it was a double play as that ball is just foul on the third base side. He said he grounded out to second. It was actually a 6-4-3 double play. So he had a ground ball to Morris. His first time up. No balls and a strike on Beiersdorf. Entered the ball game batting .514. 11 doubles, a triple, 5 home runs, 29 knocked in. The 0-1 pitch. On the outside corner, a strike, and it's 0-2. The 4A1 state semifinals from Camelback Ranch in Glendale. Todd Garbison for Southwest Sports Network. The winner of this one will advance to the 4A1 state championship game tomorrow afternoon. As the pitch from Benson is high, 1-2. And the winner of this game will face the winner of number 1 Sunrise Mountain and number 4 Sabino. The 1-2. And a swing and a miss. Beiersdorf out on strikes, and there's 1 out for Reed Hunter. Hunter takes the first pitch low for a ball. Reed hit a fly ball out to Kyle Young to start the 2nd inning. His batting average, though, .468. 7 doubles, 4 triples, 6 home runs, 47 knocked in. The 1-0. And that's outside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. And a breaking ball over for a strike. Now a ground ball over to third. Nips knocks it down, throws late to first base. And trouble picking that up on the short hop. And so Hunter aboard at first base. And the batter will be A.J. Muscarello. That is ruled an E5. And the first one of Muscarello was outside for a ball. 3-0 Saguaro. Catalina Foothills hitting in the top of the 4th inning. The 1-0. And a slow tapper, third base side. Nips couldn't decide what to do, and he picks it up in fair territory. And that'll put another runner on base for the Falcons. An infield single for Muscarello. The batter is Robbie Gerhauser. SaberCats really dominated through the first 3 innings. Only 3 runs to show for it, and now the tying run at the plate as the first pitch to Gerhauser is low for ball 1. 2 on with 1 out in the top of the 4th inning, and now time called, and Brandon Demers wants to talk to his pitcher Michael Benson. We play in the 4th inning. It's 3-0. Just a very quick conversation, and now Demers comes back behind the plate. Hunter at second, Muscarello at first. A strikeout start of the inning. Here's the next one to Gerhauser, and it misses for a ball, and it's 2-0. The set again, and the 2-0 pitch. On the outside corner. Near it anyway for a strike. Two and one the count on Gerhauser. And Benson steps off. SaberCats with a run in the first and 2 in the second. They lead 3-0. The 2-1 fouled off the end of the bat. And the count's 2-2. Look back to second base. And the 2-2 pitch. And a ground ball hit sharp out to second. Tingley to Morris on to first base. Called safe at first. And the inning stays alive. SaberCats thought they pulled off the double play to get out of the inning. Muscarello forced at second. Hunter goes to third. Gerhauser aboard on the fielder's choice. So now 2 outs, but still the tying run at the plate for the Falcons. And the batter is Sebastian Zawada. And a swing and a foul tip into the glove for a strike. The 1-0 pitch, a breaking ball outside, and it's 1-1. Zawada batting .293, 7 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs, 23 knocked in. The 1-1. That's outside, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Three 0 SaberCats. Falcons with a scoring opportunity here in the 4th inning. And a ground ball knocked down by Morris, and no play. And now time call, and you got to make sure Matt's okay. I think he rolled over his wrist a little bit. And maybe have to check on him to make sure he's all right. It'll be another infield single. And an unearned run for the Falcons as Hunter scores to make it 3-1. Gerhauser at second, Zawada at first for Preston Jamison. And now the tying run at first and the go-ahead run at the plate for Catalina Foothills. And Jamison with a swing and a miss for strike 1. time called. 2 hits in the inning for the Falcons, but neither one of them has left the infield. Also an error in the inning. But a run across. Now the 0-1. And Jamison goes around for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes on Preston Jamison, who hit a fly ball out to Anderson in left field in the 3rd. Batting just .235, 4 homers and 19 knocked in. The runner from second takes off, but it doesn't matter, a swing and a miss. And Jamison strikes out on 3 pitches to end the inning. Falcons are on the board with an unearned run in the 4th on 2 infield base hits plus an error, 2 runners left, and a midway point of the ball game. It's Saguaro 3 and Catalina Foothills 1. 9-1-2 in the order for Saguaro, and Ben Tingley, the first hitter, and he takes strike 1. Tingley with an infield single in the 2nd. There's a swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. The 0-2. And that's over for strike 3. Jamison has retired all 4 he has faced. And the batter is Austin Anderson, who doubled and scored in the 1st and walked in the 2nd. The 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. The wind and the 2-0. On the outside corner, a strike. It's 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Fastball high and outside, 3-1. 1 out, base is empty. Home half of the 4th inning. SaberCats leading 3-1. Trying to advance to the 4A Division I state championship game tomorrow. A swing and a miss. It's 3-2. And now the 3-2 pitch. Fouled out of play by Anderson. It's on the 3rd base side. Jamison ready again. Into the wind, another 3-2. And a fastball high for ball 4. That's the first base runner allowed for Preston Jamison. And now the batter is Zach Gibbons, an RBI ground out and a fly out in his 2 at-bats. And going after the first one, laces it foul down the right side. And it's out of play. Runner goes, and the ball punched into right field for a base hit, and that's going to allow Anderson to get around to 3rd base. Good piece of hitting there for Zach Gibbons. And now 2 aboard with 1 out for Chris Ackman. Ackman has singled and walked. Gibbons takes off from first base, and Chris fouls the ball out of play on the first base side. The set of the 0-1. And a swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Now Saguaro looking for a base hit here to try to get that run back in and reclaim a 3-run lead. The 2-0, runner goes. The ball hit on the ground slowly. The only play is going to be to first, and that will get the run in. An RBI ground out from Chris Ackman. As Anderson scores, Gibbons goes to second. And the batter is Brandon Demarest. And Demarest fouls a pitch out of play on the right side. A runner at second base with 2 away. A run in for Saguaro. They lead 4-1. And a big jump out there at second by Gibbons as he takes off and steals the bag. The ball bounced in, and so Beiersdorf, the catcher, had no chance. And a fly ball out to right field. Alav there for the catch, and the side retired, but Saguaro gets the run back in the 4th inning. They get 1 run on 1 hit, and they leave 1. After 4 innings of play in the 4A1 state semifinals, it's Saguaro 4 and Catalina Foothills 1. As the shadows start to come across home plate, we begin the 5th inning, and Tyler Alav takes a strike on the outside corner. 9-1-2 in the order for the Falcons in the 5th. Alav, Lopez, and Nakazato to bat for Catalina Foothills. The 0-1. And a swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. Michael Benson, 4 innings of work. 1 unearned run, 4 hits. 3 of them infield base hits. The 0-2. That's outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And a ground ball foul on the third base side. Reed Hunter was the starter for Catalina Foothills. He allowed the first 3 runs in 2 innings worth of work, 6 hits and 3 walks, the rest of his line. The 1-2. And a swing and a miss. Alav strikes out. That's the first out of the inning. And strikeout number 4 for Michael Benson. Back to the top of the order for the Falcons, and the batter is the first baseman, Manny Lopez. And the first pitch over for a strike. Next pitch low, and it's 1-1. Lopez with a walk in the first inning, an infield single in the third. The 1-1. And that's fouled out of play. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. And a ground ball to the right side. Tingley has to wait for the bounce. The throw on to first base gets Lopez by a couple of steps. A 4-3 ground out, and there's 2 gone in the 5th inning. And the batter is Penn Nakazato. First pitch high for a ball. Again, Catalina Foothills winners of 9 straight, including a couple of playoff upsets. The 1-0 pitch, hit on the ground, out to Morris, and that's right through the legs and into left field. An E6 will keep the inning going for the Falcons. And with 2 outs and a runner at first, the batter is Alec Beiersdorf. But the Falcons beat Apollo in the first round on Saturday 7-3. And then beat number 3 Prescott 7-5 on Wednesday afternoon rather, here at Camelback Ranch. First pitch to Beiersdorf outside for ball 1. In the top half of the bracket, number 1 Sunrise Mountain beat number 8 Cienega 4-3. And number 4 Sabino beat number 12 Pueblo 6-4. The next one outside, 2-0. 2 outs and a runner at first base in the top of the 5th inning. Falcons trailing the SaberCats 4-1. The 2-0 pitch. And a ground ball and a base hit into left field. Anderson will get it back in. And now 2 on with 2 outs for Reed Hunter. Hunter, the team leader in RBI with 47. And he's got a chance to add to the total here, and not only add to his total, but close the gap as he represents the tying run for the Falcons at the plate in the top of the 5th. And the first pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Benson looking in, now steps off. Yeah, Michael ready again, and the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball and it's high, it's 1-1. Benson got a strikeout and a ground out to start the 5th inning, and then got a ground ball, which should have got him out of the 5th inning, but an error kept the inning alive. And then Beiersdorf with a strong single, solid single into left. The next one a little bit low, and it's 2-1. Two balls and a strike on Reed Hunter. A.J. Muscarello next. And a pop-up into shallow right. Young under it, and he's got it. And the Falcons are turned away again in the 5th inning as Benson pitches around the error and the base hit. 2 more left for Catalina Foothills. They've left 6 on in the ball game. That matches Saguaro 6. And we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's the SaberCats 4 and the Falcons 1. Kyle Young starts it off in the 5th inning for Saguaro, and he takes a strike on the outside corner from Preston Jameson. The 0-1 pitch. That's outside. It bounces, in fact, and goes to the backstop, and the count's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch, and Young with a swing and a foul tip into the glove of Beiersdorf, and it's 1-2. Jameson to the line of the 1-2 pitch, and that's fouled out of play. Young, Morris, and Austin for the SaberCats in the 5th inning, and Saguaro would love to add on to their 4-1 lead. Another 1-2. And that's over for a strike. And Young is the first out of the inning. Strikeout number 2 for Jamison. And it brings up Matt Morris. Morris with a shot out to short, picked up there by Muscarello on to first base. It's in time. And there's 2 down. Two outs in the inning for Reed Austin. And the first pitch high for a ball. I was curious to see if Reed would take a pitch or two. Young had a 5-pitch at bat, and then Morris goes after the very first one. But 2 away in the inning. And the next pitch outside, and it's 2-0. Reed with a 2-run home run in the second, then a fly ball. Out to right in the third. And a pop-up. Should be a quick inning here as this one travels into the outfield. Alev is there. And the catch is made. It's a 3-up, 3-down inning for the first time in the ball game for the SaberCats. And through 5 innings of play in the 4A Division I state semifinals, it's still Saguaro 4 and Catalina Foothills 1. 5, 6, and 7 in the order for the Falcons. In the 6th inning, A.J. Muscarello going after the first one. It's a swing and a miss for a strike. Muscarello, Gerhauser, and Zawada for the Falcons in the 6th. The ball bunted, but bunted foul, and it's 0-2. SaberCats had about 6 or 8 guys sitting down in the bullpen. I guess they're still all down there. They're just getting up now, starting to move around a little bit. Getting into the later innings, of course, playing in the 6th, the 0-2. Well, Muscarello thought it was strike 3 as he took a step over the or out of the batter's box and over the plate. 1-2 the count. Michael Benson ready in the pitch. Swung on and fouled off. SaberCats still looking good from a pitching standpoint. Again, a complete game from Travis Steinheiser on Saturday. Chris Frudenberg threw 6 on Wednesday. Kane McCaslin threw the 7th in a swing and a miss. And that is the first out of the 6th inning. Here's Gerhauser, who singled in the 2nd and reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th. And the first one is outside for ball 1. Always nice to get the first out. Catalina Foothills got the leadoff hitter on in the 1st inning only, as the breaking ball's over for a strike. Since then, Benson has retired the leadoff hitter in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and now the 6th. The 1-1. Pitch is low, and it's 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1. Swung on and missed. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. The set and the 2-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts in the 6th. And there's 2 away for Sebastian Zawada. And I said the set from Benson, he throws out of that same motion, whether it's out of the windup or out of the stretch, whether there are runners on base or not, it's the same motion. See a lot of pitchers doing that anymore. And a first pitch grounded foul on the third base side for strike one. Zawada reached on a fielder's choice, actually ended the inning on a fielder's choice in the second, and then had an infield single in the fourth. Next pitch outside for a ball, and it's 1-1. 1 run on 5 hits, 2 errors, 6 left on so far anyway for Catalina Foothills, as the next one misses and it's 2-1. 4 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors, and 5 left on so far. Make it 6 left on so far for the SaberCats. Pitch swung on and fouled off, and it's 2-2. Two and two on Zawada. Ball off the handle of the bat, and it's fouled out of play on the first base side. The count stays at 2-2. Boy, I'd love to get a 3-up, 3-down here in the 6th, because it would mean that it would be the bottom of the order in the 7th, 8, 9, and then 1 in the 7th inning. And you can avoid the middle of the order. But there's a base hit. That's going to extend the inning and get to the next guy on the order as this one goes all the way to the fence. Anderson will get it back in as Zawada stops at second base. First extra base hit of the ball game for the Falcons. And Zawada at second base with 2 outs for Preston Jamison. Now, if you're Catalina Foothills, you're looking to at least get this run in from second base to try to get a run closer. A swing and a miss for Jamison for strike one. He's flied out and struck out in 2 at-bats. The 0-1, swung out and missed, and it's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes on Jamison, the number 8 hitter in the Falcons order. Benson looking in, Demers through the signs. Now the set and the 2-strike pitch. Swing and a miss, and he goes down on strikes as Benson strikes out the side. In the 6th inning, we will go to the bottom of the 6th. It's Saguaro 4 and Catalina Foothills 1. 8, 9, and 1 in the order for Saguaro as John Nemps takes high and inside for ball 1. Nemps, Tingley, and Anderson for the SaberCats. And a line drive and a diving try by Muscarello, but it's off his glove and into left field. Nemps will take the base hit, and he's on at first base. Well, Saguaro up 4-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. You've got to believe it's a sacrifice situation for Saguaro. And Tingley gets the bunt down. Jamison's got it. He's going to throw, but he pulls the shortstop off the bag at second. And now we're going to get a timeout here, and we're going to get a substitution as Andrew Valdez is going to come out of the SaberCat dugout. He's going to run at first base for Tingley. Haven't put up a scoring play yet on that ball. As the first one to Austin Anderson is a ball. Actually, they have put up a base hit. I don't think that's an appropriate application there. That's not a hit because if as the ball is fouled out of play, if Jamison just fields the ball and throws to first base, Tingley is out on a sacrifice. So what it really should be is an E1 on Nimps at second, and then Tingley gets credit for a sacrifice and is aboard basically on a fielder's choice. 2-1 the count on Anderson. Actually, let me change that. It wouldn't be a sacrifice. You can award a sacrifice even if out isn't recorded, but with it being an error, if the throw would have been good at second base, they would have gotten the runner, and so then that takes away the opportunity for the sacrifice. You want to reward the hitter as the pitch is fouled out of play and it's 2-2. You want to reward the hitter for getting a bunt down, even if it means giving himself up. You reward him for the sacrifice, which is a statistical category, of course, the sacrifice, but it's also not going to go against the batting average. Pitch fouled off at the plate by Anderson, and we stay at 2-2 rather. Two aboard and nobody out. Top of the order at the plate for the SaberCats. They lead 4-1. Jamison sets the 2-2. That's low, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three balls, 2 strikes. And another grounder foul. SaberCats lead it 4-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning, and a golden chance to add to it. And that's bounced in. It's ball 4, and that will load the bases. So we go back and take a look at the scoreboard again as Beiersdorf is out to talk to Jamison. He's looking at his shoe. Still looking into the dugout. And a timeout here. And I guess it's the catcher Beiersdorf maybe that's not feeling so well. He's down on a knee. And we'll take a break. Playing in the 6th inning, it's 4-1 Saguaro. They're ready to go back to play here. Beiersdorf stays in the ball game behind the plate. The bases are loaded with nobody out for Saguaro in the bottom of the 6th. And Zach Gibbons at the plate. The infield in on the grass for the Falcons. And the first pitch over for a strike. So to clarify then the ruling, no base hit on the play. It was ruled what is called a failed fielder's choice as Gibbons takes a strike. So they decided to go to second base off the Tingley bunt, and just they could not make the play. So it's not a base hit. There's no error called, and after thinking that through, that makes sense. That's probably a legitimate way to apply the rule there. 1-2 the count on Gibbons. SaberCats trying to add on a 3-run lead. And the pitch high and outside, and it's 2-2. Pitch foul back to the netting by Gibbons, and the count still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Big chance for the SaberCats to blow it open here, leading by 3, but still nobody out with the bases loaded. Another 2-2. Boy, that was outside, and it's called a 3rd strike. A break there for the Falcons as Beiersdorf, the catcher, had to reach out to get that pitch from Jamison. Infield stays in, and the batter is Chris Ackman. First one bounced in, that'll get away, and the run comes in on a wild pitch. That'll bring in one of them to make it 5-1 Saguaro. Nimp scores, Tingley to 3rd, Anderson to 2nd. One 1-0 on Chris Ackman. Fastball outside, 2-0. Jamison to the wind, the 2-0. Outside and high, 3 balls and no strikes. The 3-0. A called strike, it's 3-1. Ackman 1 for 2 with an RBI and a walk. The 3-1. Not close. That's ball 4. Second walk of the inning given up by Jamison. That reloads the bases for the SaberCats. And the batter is Brandon Demarest. Demarest lays off the fastball. It's high for ball 1. Brandon doubled in the first, lined out to right in the second, and hit a fly ball out to right in the 4th. The 1-0. Called a strike. And it's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. And a soft pop up. And that'll be the second out. Back to get it, the second baseman, Nakazato. And now the batter is Kyle Young. Bases loaded, now 2 outs in the inning. A run across for Saguaro. They lead 5-1. And the first one to Young. Outer half of the plate for a strike. The wind and the 0-1. It's fouled back to the netting, and it's 0-2. Jamison to the wind, the 2-0, the 0-2 rather, just off the corner. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2. Inside, 2-2. Jamison wants to make it happen here on the 2-2 pitch. If he goes full, then the runners will be able to take off. Young trying to knock in a couple here, the 2-2 pitch. And that is a called 3rd strike. So 2 strikeouts in the inning for Jamison, but the SaberCats send 7 to the plate. They score once on just 1 base hit, and they leave 3 more runners on base. That's 9 left on by the SaberCats through 6 innings. We'll go to the 7th. Saguaro leads Catalina Foothills 5-1. Catalina Foothills goes to the bench. A pinch hitter to start the 7th inning as Luis Gonzalez, a freshman, hitting .244 on the year. Bats for Tyler Alef. And the first pitch is high for ball one. Michael Benson out to start the seventh inning for Saguaro. The 1-0. That's over for a strike, and it's 1-1. Now the 1-1 pitch. That's over for a strike, and it's 1-2. Benson with the 1-2 pitch. And that one fouled off. And a swing and a miss. Gonzalez strikes out. Strikeout number 8 for Michael Benson. And the batter is Manny Lopez. First one to Lopez, a strike. And the next one hit on the ground. Knocked down by Tingley. Up, throws to first base in time. 2 away. Pretty play for Ben Tingley as he dives to pick it up. And there's 2 down. SaberCats 1 out away from advancing to the 4A1 state championship game tomorrow afternoon. Pitch number 100 from Michael Benson. And it's over for a strike. Benson has scattered 6 base hits, allowed 1 unearned run. 8 strikeouts, the 0-1. Oh, that one didn't miss by much. Outside maybe, and it's 1-1. Benson only 1 walk, and that was to the leadoff hitter in the ball game. He has been dynamite. The 1-1 pitch. Slow tapper, third base side. That's going to be picked up in foul territory. And now the Falcons down to their final strike in the 7th inning. 5-1 Saguaro. Trying to get back to the state championship game. They beat these Falcons in the championship game last year. The 1-2 pitch. Inside corner, strike 3 called, and that'll do it. A complete game victory for Michael Benson. And the Saguaro SaberCats advance to the title game. Nakazato had some words for the plate umpire. He's still kind of jawing at him over there. But another impressive victory for the Saguaro SaberCats as they beat Catalina Foothills by a final score of 5-1. And the totals down the ball game for Catalina Foothills: 1 run on 6 hits, 2 errors, and 7 left. For Saguaro, 5 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors, 9 runners left on base. The SaberCats will advance as Catalina Foothills season ends. The Falcons finish their year at 20-12. And Saguaro goes to 33-4. And advance to the championship game. They will face the winner of number 1 Sunrise Mountain and number 4 Sabino. That game will get started in about an hour here at Camelback Ranch. So that will do it. Michael Benson, of course, the winning pitcher. And again, lights out today. 1 unearned run on the 6 hits. He finishes with 9 strikeouts and just the 1 walk. And Saguaro set up nicely as their starting pitchers have done the job throughout this entire season and throughout this week in the playoffs, as Travis Steinheiser will get the ball tomorrow for Saguaro. So that'll do it in the state semifinals in 4A Division I baseball. It's Saguaro 5 and Catalina Foothills 1. From Camelback Ranch in Glendale, Todd Garbison for Southwest Sports Network saying so long. We'll talk to you tomorrow for the 4A1 state championship game.